All right, everybody. Happy Sunday night. Welcome to Music on the Menu on the River. Alan K. Stout, as I always am, Sunday nights, 9 to 10 o'clock, bringing you regional artists doing their own original material from right here in northeastern Pennsylvania. DC Taylor, how are you, man?
Good, Alan. How's it going?
I'm all right. I'm hanging in there. Ready for the big holiday coming up with Halloween. I know I do an up-close article for the Electric City every week, and a lot of people I ask them sometimes, what's your favorite holiday? Halloween's like right after Christmas.
Really?
It's a biggie, so that'll be coming up. So hope you all have a good time trick or treat. And speaking of up close, I've been writing that column now for Electric City for about 2 years. And actually, it's exactly 2 years. 2 years is October. So one of the stories that I did back in, I think it was June or July, was with Patrick Kiewakowski, who is sitting here with us tonight. And that's how we met, through this column that I write for the Electric City and sometimes appears in the Scranton Times. And Patrick, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Alan. Happy to be here.
And the reason that I wanted Patrick to come on is because, well, first of all, we just really hit it off when we did the interview that day. I mean, we did the interview, and then we turned off the tape recorder, and then we hung out for like another hour.
It certainly was, yeah.
And what I've learned about Patrick even since then is even more about the artwork that he does. We talked about it in that story, but since then, you have really been painting a lot of paintings of local musicians.
Yeah.
And on November 4th, right here in Exeter, you're going to be exhibiting that work at Sabatini's. So you have a great exhibit coming up with a whole bunch of local musicians. And so that's why you're here on the show. I want to talk to you about that. We want to talk to you about the artist, how you picked who you did for your first round here, what inspired you to do it, and give some more people some details, of course, of how they can attend. But at the top of the show, we're going to open the show with Tom Graham, who is one of the artists that you picked. Who are the artists? I mean, I know you did Jane Train. I know you did Tom. Did quite a few of them for this first exhibit. Who were
10.
10, yeah. Who will we see at Sabatini's on November 4th?
Sabatini's on November 4th. It's a big show for me. Local art and local musicians have been a big part of my life, and they've inspired me to push my art in certain directions. So I figured, why not have a show for these? The people you're going to see is obviously Tom Graham, you mentioned, Jane Train, because of the tragedy that just had passed.
Thank you for donating that print to the Jane Jam auction. We appreciate it.
It was my pleasure, and I want to get to something later on about that. But I actually, it's Tom Graham, Jane Train, the 4 members of Still Hand String Band. I picked them specifically because this is their last show they had just about last month. And that's D. Maple, Sonny Diesel, Eric Harvey, and Banjo Steve, or Steve Leonard.
Okay.
He very, very fantastic artist. I also picked Sarah Hulse.
That's 7.
I picked Mike Ragu Rakowski.
Okay. I know him.
He's a good friend, and he's a banjo,
he runs
bongo.
Mountain Sky too, right?
Yeah, Mountain Sky. He runs Mountain Sky. He's the visionary behind Mountain Sky.
Sure.
He's a bongo player for the Mountain Sky Orchestra. And
great dude.
Okay, so I'm trying to think who I missed here. Oh, and I cannot forget Abby Vale and Jessica Louisi.
Okay.
So those are the 10 artists that I picked locally.
And these will all be on display at Sabatini's in Exeter on November 4th from 12 noon to 4 p.m. And you have music and some other things going on that we're going to talk about a little bit later in the show. But let's play one of those artists right now who will be on display that day. Tom Graham, guy we both know pretty well.
Yes,
Song called Bus Ride.
Now my world's falling down, and it's plain to see that you're not around, and my bed has never been turned down till you are here.
Make no mistake, wouldn't have you any other way. I'm gonna give you all you can take me away from here. On a bus ride with you by my side, can make the voices go away. We're in overdrive. Put your hand in mine. We're starting all over today. Now my world's falling down, and it's plain to see you never were around. And my bed is never turning down. You were never here. On a bus ride with you by my side can make the voices go away. We're in overdrive. Put your hand in mine. We're starting all over today. Loud. La da da, la da 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 da, la da da, la da 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 da. You were never here. La da da da. La da 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 da, la da da, la da 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 da, da da da, la da 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 da, da da da, la da 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 da, da da.
Heavens up above, everything comes in time. Tonight's the night for love. I think love is in the air. If not, some roses will do. My aim is to ease your mind. If that fails, there's a poem for you. Cupid aimed his bow and pierced me with his dart. Changed a stone to soul and made me the king heart. All the pain you had in the past, all the tears you ever cried, your heart is here at last. All your tears I kiss goodbye. Our love will age like wine. It'll keep a smile on your face. Don't worry about the time, babe. It gets better day by day. Cupid aimed his bow and pierced me with his dart. Changed the stone to stone and and made me the king of hearts. I'm the king of hearts. Me with his dart, changed the stone to soul and made me the king of hearts.
Clarence Spady here on Music on the Menu on the River with a song called King of Hearts. Before that, Tom Graham with a song called Bus Ride. We're hanging out here with Patrick. He's going to have an exhibit at Sabatini's on November 4th featuring his own art. And this particular exhibit will feature art paintings that he's done of local artists from right here in northeastern Pennsylvania. So such a perfect fit for our show, you know, to have you on, because that's what we're all about too. And you talked a little bit about how you picked some of the artists. You know, you're fans of the group, obviously. I know you love Mountain Sky.
Oh, yeah.
You're up there all the time, so that would explain Ragu. And you know Tom Graham well. Yeah. And Jane, you know, obviously she's...
Sure. I honestly, I could say that I've seen her here and there, but it's a tragedy, and the community feels it.
Yeah.
So.
And you're going to do something special with that print from her, you said, right?
Yes, actually, you had confided me a story when you first... when we talked about me donating that print or the original, and you told me about her friend Terry, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And you said that she was down there for weeks at a time when Jane was down in the hospital, and she came home to get some of her affairs in order, and she found out once she landed in Philly that she flew right back down to be with her friend by her side. It's touching, and I'd like to give her one of the 3 prints that I made for the artist. There's very limited prints on all of them. There's only 3.
She'll appreciate that. I know she will. Yeah, and that is what happened. She said she was down there for quite a while, and she had to come home to take care of something, and she got to the airport in Philadelphia, and she got a phone call or a text that she had taken a bad turn and just got right back on another plane and went right back down there. And that's a special friend.
Very, very special for me. I mean, I can't imagine a better friend in your corner.
She will appreciate that. Let's play another local band here. I know that you've probably seen these guys a couple times, Patrick. This is Cabinet. The song called Wine and Shine.
Love them.
Well, the jaw was gone by the time the sun went down. Yeah, the jaw was gone by the time the sun went down. When the jar is gone and the sun is down, what God lost won't ever be found. The jar was gone by the time the sun went down. Well, I got drunk on wine and moonshine. Yeah, we got drunk on wine and moonshine. used to hang outside of a grocery store. We were raised on fuzz and power chords. When we would spend our Halloween smashing pumpkins on the street. Whoa, 15. Whoa, 15. Why can't it always be the way it was 15? When 4 chords were all we had. And no school could teach us that. And every night chasing down a dream. Some teenage Americana queen. Whoa, 15. Whoa, 15. Why can't it always be the way it was 15? There was something magic in the way it felt. Back in the alley, raising hell. Stereo and an empty soda can. You heard sirens, everybody ran. Whoa, 15. Whoa, 15. Why can't it always be the way it was 15? We used to hang outside of the grocery store.
Spend my life thinking about things from the past. Well, my life worried about love don't last.
Betty Young here on Music on the Menu on the River with a song called Let's Start All Over Again. Before that, Patrick McGlynn with a song called 15, great Scranton artist. And before that, Cabinet with a song called Wine and Shine. We're hanging out with Patrick. He will be having a great exhibit of local artists, I should say. It's like local artists. It all ties in together. Local musicians and his artwork. And, you know, when I met you when we did the story in the summer for the Electric City, you know, you were talking about, I remember there was a Janis Joplin picture that you were particularly proud of, a Jerry Garcia piece that you were particularly proud of. And you talked to me in that article about how painting musicians was incredibly inspiring to you. And, you know, for the folks that may not have seen that article, it was a couple months ago now. Could you talk about that a little bit, how that's affected your work, the music of these artists or the personalities of these artists, and how you know, kind of put that on the canvas?
Sure. Janis Joplin was always a very strong woman character in her time when it probably wasn't so popular to be so. And that really resonated, especially being a single dad of a daughter, a 9-year-old daughter. You know, I mean, some of the things in her life choices maybe weren't the best, but, you know, she was a strong woman and she did what she loved. Actually got a funny story about the Janis Joplin piece. And she actually, I brought her to a party, a pre-Peach Fest party at John Warner's place. And Haley Jane and the Primates was playing there. And I fell in love a little bit with Haley Jane. It's hard not to. She's got a Helen Reddy, Janis Joplin meets I don't even know, I guess you could say Etta James voice. And it's very intriguing. I
like Helen Reddy's voice.
Oh, I love Helen Reddy's voice. Yes, and I know we've had a long talk about Helen Reddy.
Yes, we did.
And I've not forgotten that. So she's got that type of voice. And I didn't know how to approach her. I was kind of starstruck a little bit by Haley. And she was leaving up from underneath the tent maybe about an hour later after her set, and she was carrying my Janis Joplin print. And I decided to introduce myself through my art. And I asked her, where was she going with this piece of Janis Joplin? And she said, I'm stealing it from John. That's her response was stealing it from John.
Oh, so, wow, that's awesome.
I'm like, you don't have to steal that from him. And she's like, really? Why not? I'm like, because I painted it, and I'll give you one.
Oh, so man.
It was a cool way for me to meet a rising star.
That is a really nice story.
Yeah, she's great. A lot of the art is inspired just by the music. So, I mean, they play it. I'm inspired by it. I love what they do, and I like to put it down on paper.
It's a great talent you have, and I'm so happy that you're doing this show and tying it in with local artists too, and it's something that you could do every year. You can pick another bunch of guys for next year, or women. So I don't want to put the pressure on you.
No, I plan on. I'm glad you brought that up. I plan on doing this annually.
That's awesome.
I'm going to pick 10 more artists. Actually, this year probably would have been George Wesley in Jane's place, but because Jane was so fresh and new to our community and such a missing link to the whole thing. I mean, that's why I chose Jane.
Sure. Let's play another one from a great local artist. This is Ed Randazzo, a song called Sentimental Journey.
Gonna take a sentimental journey. Gonna set my heart at ease. Gonna make a sentimental journey to renew old memories. Got my bags, I've got my reservation. Spend each dime I could afford. Like a child in wild anticipation, I long to hear that all aboard. 7, that's the time we're leaving at 7. I'll be waiting up for heaven, counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. Never thought my heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? Gotta make a sentimental journey, a sentimental journey home.
heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? Gonna make a sentimental journey, a sentimental journey home, sentimental journey home, sentimental journey home. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, there ain't enough water in the water. There ain't enough air in the air. There ain't enough money in my pockets, and I need better dental care. Mama's drinking coffee, and Daddy's paving roads. Sonny boy's digging up potholes. Grandpa's got your nose. Sister's riding on coattails, taking off her clothes. Great grandma drives her station wagon on the sidewalk. Folks, you better watch your toes. Yeah, there ain't enough water in the water. There ain't enough air in the air. There ain't enough money in my pockets. I need better dental care. Well, that tall grass is blowing. The one-armed sailor's rowing. He's tired and it ain't showing. He'll take a nap once he gets to where he's going. Well, I'm chopping down the meters. The meter maids are wearing red. And you ain't gonna get to where you're going till that bull starts using his head. There ain't enough water in the water. There ain't enough air in the air. There ain't enough money in my pockets. I need better dental care. Well, I ain't got 2 nickels that I could rub together. Well, I don't care about bad weather. Well, I got a good gal at my side, hanging on for dear life. Well, I don't care if it rains all night. I've been sweeping streets, yes, and I've been whistling too. I ain't got a stick of gum on my shoe. There ain't enough water in the water. There ain't enough air in the air. There ain't enough money in my pockets. I need better dental care. Well, the government's going broke, and that governor keeps getting rich. Well, I keep rowing my boat merrily down the ditch. There ain't enough water in the water. There ain't enough air in the air. There ain't enough money in my pockets, and I need
Kate here on Music on the Menu on the River, song called Living Proof. Kate will be with us on November 7th here at Breakers as part of Music on the Menu Live. She'll be back for the first time in about almost 2 years, so really looking forward to having her live here on stage. Before that, the Dishonest Fiddlers, a song called There Ain't Enough Water in the Water. You like those guys?
I love the Dishonest Fiddlers.
See, I didn't even talk to Patrick about music when I was putting the show together.
Yeah.
I just knew. I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm going to
yeah.
play some songs I know Patrick will dig.
great.
I'm friends with Dave Brown, and
I
there's
figured.
no one that could tell a story like Dave
Yeah.
Brown can.
and of course we played some of the other folks, Cabinet and Tom
Sure.
Graham, of course, and we're going to play another guy that you like here in a minute, Miz. So you mentioned you're a huge fan of.
Mike Miz. A friend of mine got me into him a few years ago, and I never looked back. He's amazing. It's the way he can control his guitar and his voice, and I'm a sucker for Peggio when he plays Peggio.
And I mean, his songs. I've told he's sat here on the show many times as a guest. He writes beautiful songs.
Oh, God.
There's a great sentiment to his songs. He can capture a feeling.
Sure,
beautifully.
you know that his songs are deeper than the face value. I mean, his lyrics are exactly that. I mean, there's turmoil under the surface.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a great musician, tremendous.
Looking ahead to, this ongoing. You told us in the last break that you would like to do this every year. Do you have any artists in mind that might make it for the second exhibit next year? I know you don't want to maybe reveal your whole hand, or maybe you're not even sure yet. But anybody that you think might be.
I sure do. I have quite a few actually in mind. This list got whittled down to 10 by probably 100. So definitely Dave Brown, or maybe all the Dishonest Fiddlers, this whole group. There was, I'm trying to think here, there were so many. Who can I mention that I might say? Diane Brigido, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing her last name wrong. Mm-hmm. She's very good. She always does a nice gospel set on Sundays at Mount Sky, and she's a tremendous local musician. We also talked about maybe George Wesley.
Sure.
Because I'd like to do 10 every year, one that's passed and no longer with us. And Tim from Mighty Fine Wine.
Timmy
Hopkins. He's been, Mighty Fine Wine was a huge influence on me when I was younger, especially getting into Tom Graham. Almost 20 years ago, Tom and I were talking about, I can't believe I've been listening to him for almost 20 years. And Mighty Fine Wine was back then with Fudd and Bill and all those guys. I mean, they were just so tremendous.
The Mighty Fine Wine, and you don't hear people say this about bands that often, but they reminded me of the Rolling Stones sometimes.
Yeah, I get that.
When I went to see them, they're just this jangly kind of,
Yeah.
It was like,
They had swag.
Like, a little Exile on Main Street kind of vibe. Bar in Scranton, back in 2002.
Yeah,
great stuff. Let's play a couple from those artists. Here's one from Miz. We'll follow that up with one from Mighty Fine Wine. Check it out.
She woke up in some hotel. Oh, what city it was, I can't tell. But she was standing at the sink. She poured some coffee before she could think. And he threw caution to the wind. He closed his eyes and he opened them again. I can't believe all my days led to this. Just one wrong on an endless list. He packed his things in the morning, left a letter by her side, and he was gone without a warning, even before the ink had dried. And she looked down and saw it lying there, and she knew what it would bring. Read each sentence so slowly, 'cause every word meant everything. And I know the devil is hot on my heels, and it's hard to explain the way that I feel. But it's been so long since I tasted the touch of that old love I knew. The meant so much. And she was crying at the counter, gave the room key to the maid. And that one secret of the city had ruined all the plans they made. And the sands may change with the ways of the wind, but this desert is always the same. So go where you please and chase all your dreams, but my love for you will remain. And I know it's a long shot, we can make believe that we'll be alright. I never knew just how much could change on a New Jersey night. At some casino, he felt the sea swell up inside. Left his bags beneath the boardwalk, and to the ocean he divined. A sacred circle one day would break, from one fool's dream and another's mistake. Now all the places he could be, from Barnegat up to Normandy. I put the pieces back together when everything went wrong. And I never cared how much it hurt you, I'd still be here when he's gone. But oh, my baby said she loved me, but I found out she lied. And now she's having a baby, and Lord knows it ain't mine. And I know the devil is hot on my heels, and it's hard to explain the way that I feel. But it's been so long since I tasted the touch. If I don't do it now, then it won't mean that much. And he never knew that he was waiting until the day had finally come. And as he sank into the water, he felt his fingers all go numb. And the waters may change with the ways of the tide, but this ocean is always the same. And what goes out to sea must get washed back to me, 'cause my love for you still remains. And I know it's a long shot, you can make believe that we'll be alright. I never knew just how much could change on a New Jersey night. I know the devil is hot on my New Jersey night. It's hard to explain the way that I feel. New Jersey night. It's been so long since I tasted the New Jersey night. The love I knew that once meant so much. New Jersey night. I love you before we even existed. New Jersey night. I still love you today. New Jersey night. Although your burden's been lifted, it's not really more to say. New Jersey night. I know the devil is hot on my heels. It's hard to explain the way that I feel. It's been so long since I tasted the touch. All that I knew that was meant so much. I loved you before we even existed, and I still love you today. New Jersey night. Although your burden's been
This is dedicated to the young. May they stay foolish all their lives, believe what they read, believing in love. This is dedicated to the young. Here's to the arrogant and naive. May they get all they want, but just not what they need. Believing in futures, free lunch and guarantees. Well, here's to the arrogant and naive. May they never see how bland they are. Make each cute boy a football star, a new cheerleader in every car. How they hope it never ends. Well, here's the stupid, sexy teenage girls. May they never develop self-esteem. Believe in approval is lying flat on their backs. Well, here's the stupid, sexy teenage girls. May they never ever realize they don't get more love with every guy. They screw to see their mothers cry, and I hope it never ends. Stoners see that the varsity white bread glitterati who only like what's on MTV will never live their dreams. Yeah. This is dedicated to the young, the ones that ain't cheap, the ones that have fun. May they be who they are when their big moment comes, and this is dedicated to the young. 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 May they never, ever end.
Mighty Fine Wine here on Music on the Menu on the River with a song called Dedicated. And before that, Miz with a song called New Jersey Nights. We're hanging out here with Patrick. He's got a great exhibit coming up on November 4th at Sabatini's in Exeter from 12 to 4. It's all ages, you said, too, because you were asking me if I know I got my kids with me that weekend, and as long as I could bring them, I'm going to swing by and see it. So it is all ages event.
Sure is.
And you're going to also have music, too, right? Some people are going to be playing.
Yes, I am. I'm going to have the Jude Manarano Band, or Manarano Band, Diane Brigido, which I mentioned earlier.
Sure.
And then I'm going to finish it up with Dave Brown from the Dishonest Fiddlers. And
Terrific.
perhaps somebody, there's going to be a lot of musicians there. Who knows who might bring a piece and start playing with them. Who knows?
And we were talking here while we were off air a little bit about, you know, who we like. And obviously I tried to pepper the show here a little bit tonight with people that I knew you were fans of, Tom Graham and Cabinet and the Dishonest Fiddlers and Miz. And I didn't know you liked Mighty Fine Wine because I thought that might be a little before your time. But you remember those guys,
no.
too. You must have been a youngster when those guys emerged.
I was just in college when they came out.
Sure.
So, I mean, I was just the bar scene, and they were, like you said, very swaggy.
They were. Kind of Rolling Stones.
Rolling
kind of
Stones
vibes,
feel.
yeah. But you were also asking DC of some of his favorites.
Sure. You know, on the break, we actually talked a little bit about it. You asked me who my absolute favorite was, and I can't answer that because I love them all equally. But DC, you are the man behind
Collins.
You are the man behind the curtain. You are Collins. We had a little talk while we were on the break, and Alan told me that about what was the astronaut's name?
Collins.
Collins.
The guy that
from
stayed on the ship.
Apollo 10.
Yeah.
The ship. He was the only one not watching a monitor.
Right.
That is you, DC. You are the quintessential. I'm sorry. Tongue-tied. You are Collins from Apollo 10.
I take it. I like it.
I love it too, man.
all
And
right
you're an
with it.
artist back here in your own right, and you're a lot of times not exactly observed doing your art. Right. And I want to bring some focus on you. What is your favorite in the area? What do you think, man?
Local music. Wow. I mean, I've been getting a lot of great exposure with Music on the Menu Live. First Tuesday of every month here at Breakers at Mohegan Sun. And
Quintessential DJ
Just
there.
plugging. Dishonest Fiddlers. Really, you just mentioned them a couple minutes ago. Dishonest Fiddlers loved when they were here. What else am I thinking? Oh, Dustin Douglas was really great too.
Dustin Douglas, yes.
Yeah. So if I had to put a couple up top of the list there, there you go.
That's a great top of the list. I love both of those musicians. Well, music groups. I'll tell you what, I'm glad that you answered, because you are a hidden man behind the curtain, and it's important that we get all views. Alan, who's yours?
Oh, boy. Well, I'm a huge fan of Brett Alexander.
Yeah.
Huge. I'm fortunate enough to have become very good friends with Brett over the last 20 years, 22 years or so. But even if I never met him in my life, I think I would love his music just as much.
Yeah.
I listen to his music like I put his songwriting like there with like a Springsteen. I really do feel he's that good. I'm a big fan of Eddie Epnell.
Yeah.
The solo stuff that he does now, The Mere Mortals. I go way back with those two artists. They were, when I first started writing about bands for the Times Leader back in the early 90s, they were emerging on the scene at right that same time. And those records they did way back then have still stuck with me. I still play them here on the show. We close with Badlees every night and play Eddie's stuff, current and some of his old stuff all the time. You know, I could go on forever. You know, I program a show every week for 14 years now with 14,
you're the busiest man I know.
14 songs of local artists. So obviously I love a lot of them. And, you know, all of them are here tonight. Let's give it, before we take off here, let's remind people where they could find you on Facebook if they want to see these paintings.
Jeweled Moon. It's just look up Jeweled Moon and you'll see, you know, it's a little moon picture.
Spell that out. So
Jeweled Moon, Moon.
Check these. I've seen the paintings. You know, like I said, I did a story about Patrick in the summer for the paper, and you know, we checked it out and wrote about it, and now we're happy to be talking about it. I think it's so awesome to do. So best of luck to you again, November 4th.
Thank you.
Sabatini's, Exeter, 12 to 4, all ages. Music will be there. The art will be there. You could check it out. You could buy them. Right?
Sure.
You know, so they're for sale, and take something home. And what a great way to support the local music scene in a very unique and creative and artistic way. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
I'll leave it now, as I always do, with the Badlees. This is from the record Love is Rain. This one's called Drive Back Home. We'll catch you next week.
Took a ride up through the mountains to the edge of my hometown. Made me feel just like an angel looking down. All the places I remember, all the people still the same. All the things I ran away from that remain, me. All my life is like a drive back home. Can't you hear me singing? Can't you hear me singing? All my life is like a drive back home. And I know why. Leaves were falling in the graveyard where my grandmother's body lies. And I swear I heard her sing as she cried, cried, cried. All my life is like a drive back home. Can't you hear me singing? Can't you hear me singing? All my life is like a drive back home. And I know why. There ain't nowhere that you can run to. There ain't nowhere that you can go. There ain't nowhere that you can run to. There ain't nowhere that you can go. They say that nothing lasts forever. They say that all will be in vain. But I say that struggle is the thunder.
child, my father's son, son, son.